My name is George Salas. I am from Peru, and I moved here to the United States about 20 years ago. I didn't know any English. I didn't know anything about anything, and I had a dream, and my dream was to build a business, one day be a business owner and help people. I wanted to help people, right? So when I was moving here, I was about 15 years old, but I'm going to tell you a quick story. Oh, my boy Brent Franklin just got here. I've got something great to say about you, brother. So this is 2006 is when my journey started, right? My father and my mother come in and they say, you know, George, I need to talk to you. So my mom takes me into his room and says, we're going to move to your grandma's house. Okay, I didn't know that they were getting a divorce. So she took us and we went to a different city. Thank you, sir. We went to a small town where my grandmother lived, and it was an adobe house. Half of the house melted, so we had to live in an adobe house in one little bedroom with my brother and my mother, and my grandma and my uncle went in a different room. So half of the house melted because the tile on the roof, this is an adobe house in a little town of 30,000 people called Tarapoto in Peru. And when that happened, we were living, right? So the only thing you could do as a little guy, it would be play soccer. So I grew up, I didn't see my father for 9 years. So when I was 15, my father came back into my life. So when he came back into my life, my mother was also getting remarried. So 3-4 months later, we moved here to Houston. I didn't get to say bye to my dad twice. So I grew up here, and I've got some awesome pictures to show you of me and my adobe house. Okay, so whenever the presentation comes up. But anyway, so what I did was I wanted to build something, right? So I wanted to be a business owner. So I went to school, didn't know any English. This is, 2001, right? And moved here, learned English, went to school, played soccer, and then I wanted to play soccer professionally. That was the dream back then, right? So went to play soccer, and I went to San Jacinto College. Real nice. We went. We were in Division III, and we went to nationals that year. And then essentially, I had to quit because I had to work. So I couldn't take care of myself, live on my own, because I needed the money, right? Needed the money, so I had to quit soccer, and that was a dream back then. And then I went to work, and I was a waiter, right? So I was a waiter, and then I started in the nightlife, right? I was a bartender, and I was waiting tables, bartending at the same time. And then I started promoting. So people call me, and I would throw these awesome parties. For 10 years, I did this. So I threw awesome parties, and at the same time, I was having fun, but I was also wanting to build a business I always wanted to build. And I did it for 10 years. And at year 7, 2012, I get an opportunity. I was doing so well for myself. 27 years old, making $250,000 net after all my expenses, right? That's pretty good at 27, right? Yes or no? So, guess what? Someone offers me to invest in a nightclub, and I go and invest in a nightclub not knowing anything about business, right? This is 5 to 6 years ago. Very naive. I was running my own business, but I had no knowledge of how to really operate a business. And that's what we're all here for today, this weekend, to really excel and take our businesses. But I had no idea at that time. So we failed, and I, as an investor, as a marketer, I was promoting. I was an investor, as a marketer, and our guy running the entire operation ran the place to the ground. And that lesson right there left me hanging in my apartment at the time, asking myself, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with myself? In my knees. And then I said, I'm going to build something in real estate. This is meant for me. So I call, actually, he calls me. My boy Brent Franklin calls me right after the hurricane. I had just lost my entire nightclub. I invested $410,000 into someone else's dream that became mine, and I lost it because I didn't have the knowledge of real estate, of business. I didn't know what I needed to do, right? So then I said, I'm going to educate myself so much that this will never happen to me again. So Brent calls me and says, George, come to my flip, 2017, right after Harvey. So I go to his flip for 3.5 hours. I still have the recording. And I get out of that place, and I am like, oh, my God, I'm going into real estate. So from there, I go to many. Is the presentation up yet? Oh, all right. Awesome. I didn't even know that. Thank you. Awesome. So there's me. There's me and Lima before my family got a divorce. There's me, 6 years old, right before I moved to Tarapoto. There's me next to the chickens and my brother, my little brother. And then I'm fresh off the plane, right? 2000. This is a 290 in Bingle here in Houston, okay? And I'm opening my nightclub. All my dreams are there. All my eggs are in one basket. So you learn to never put your eggs in one basket. Never did it again. Okay? And there I am after Brent and I at my first real estate seminar, a Jason Bible seminar in 2018 in January, and I was like, oh my God, I have to do this. So I went in for all. I went for 110%. So from then, I got my first flip in February, right? I made $46,000. I borrowed the $12,000 down payment. I found private money in a matter of a month. I went and networked, and I met everybody in the business, and I built a relationship with them, right? I wanted to be in this business, and I came with value. I didn't just go and say, hey, guys, I'm going to come in, and I want you to give me something. I built value, right? There's me and my family. So from then till now, 2018, boom. Did flips, $98,000 in wholesale fees. I've done 40 real estate deals, and I have 51 Airbnbs right now, okay? And that's in a matter of 3 years since February, but Airbnb, I've been doing it for 2.5 years. So what I want to teach you guys today real quick is the 5 strategies I've used in real estate to get it to 7 figures in 2.5 years, okay? Since we only have a few minutes, I hope I don't get kicked out of stage, but I want to offer as much value to you guys as I can. The first strategy is rental arbitrage, and it's when you rent a property from any landlord, and then you post it on Airbnb. You list it on short-term rental platforms, and you make the margins. Those margins are the arbitrage. Well, the BRRRR method, everyone knows about that one, and I've done quite a few of those that make me really good cash flow. You'll see creative finance. I've done 3 or 4 subject twos, and those are bringing me anywhere between $6,000 to $8,000 each. And they're great because I put down like $5,000 to $6,000, and I made it back in a month. And then I've done a few joint ventures, and we picked up management because people called me. Real estate investors called us to do management, right? So those are the 5 strategies I use to build to the cash flow that we have right now. And I want to teach you guys the 5 pillars of STR success that I had to learn the hard way, because when we launched our Airbnb business, it wasn't all gravy. I mean, I did make $98,000 from my wholesale fees, but in the first 2018, then I got a bunch of arbitrage, 20 little apartments that we had so many issues with, right? A bunch. And I learned that it is not about just any type of Airbnb or short-term rental. You know, you have to understand these 5 concepts. Concept number 1 is your market. You have to be able to understand your market. If you're in Houston, there are things about the market you need to know, right? You have to understand what properties are hot, how much people are paying, who your guests are, and how you're going to get them to pay more than they're paying the neighbor, right? Pillar number 2 is your property. Is your property updated? Is it nice? Is it good? Is it desirable? The structure, right? Pillar number 3, your design and amenities. What are you putting inside that property? And I'm going to give a big round of applause and a lot of love for my business partner, girlfriend, life person, Mona. Because of her, we have, thank you, Mona, appreciate it. We could give a little bit of a round. Thank you, guys. She's put us on the map to where we are right now because of her. Last July, she came into my life. We were going through COVID, all of us, right? She has helped me turn the entire business around to what you guys are about to see. Then fourth pillar is your listing and guest avatar. You really got to know who you are catering to, right? What does your listing look like? Because that's your piece of marketing, and marketing is one of the most important things that you could do in any business. That is your key to business success. So that piece has to be it, right? And then your operations, all right? So let's go to a quick case study, rental arbitrage case study. We just launched this property, and our startup cost, this is Mona and I's property, our startup costs are $26,000. Launched it on April 18th, and our revenue for the last 30 days has been that. Well, this month actually, the first 30 days it did about $14,000, but from the 8th to the 8th, from the 8th to the end of the month, we did that. And after our utilities, I'm guesstimating because it's not the end of the month, we haven't got the bill for it, but you're looking at our rent's $3,500. This is rental arbitrage. Management to our own management company that I own is $1,304. So we pay ourselves a management fee when we do deals, okay? And then our cash flow for that deal is $4,965. And then you guys can see why. I'm going to show you 4 reservations right there. There are $2,000, $3,600, $2,855, $2,385, right? This property sleeps at. And there is your proof right there. So you guys see what I'm talking about, right? So those are the deposits made, and that's the history that brought in that amount of money this month. And then for May, we already have 1 weekend book. Cool. We're expensive. We're higher end, right? But that doesn't mean you have to be higher end. It is about those 5 principles, all right? And that's a little bit of the inputs and numbers and metrics that we do. So our property acquisition costs are on top, if you guys see. Then I'm estimating the electricity and all the utilities to be $3,000 plus annually, right? Annually, $750, $750, $600, $600. And our cleaning, because we are actually, it's probably going to be even lower than that because we're bringing in-house cleaning teams. We've got a cleaning director now. And then the income is projected at the same number, which is $10,890 something that we did, times 12. I'm not doing what we are going to do. We're gonna hit $14,000 in this property a month. And then I'm paying myself a 12% management, right? So here's our metrics. And if we do that number every single month for the next 3 years, which is a 3-year lease, at $4,600, our internal rate of return, which is the actual rate of return over a period of the 3 years, is 188% on $26,000. Our cash-on-cash return is 6.4, right? That's how. And then on the top of the total $26,000, we're annually averaging $46,900. If you do the math, it's about 56, but this is on average, taking into consideration the actual investment, right? And then our total exit cash flow for this particular deal is 140, right? And if you look at it, when we continue to take this journey on this $10,000 a month properties, our ROI on that $26,000 is 541.5, right? We're going to hit those numbers or higher. And here's a complete picture so you guys see. All right? Second case study, BRRRR. I bought this house. I was actually in 2018, and I fixed it up, and it looked like that. Bought it for $295, put $60,000 in it. The contract was $150. When I refinanced it, my loan is about $188. Okay, so we capture around that amount of equity. So it does about $8,000 to $10,000 every month, and it cash flows 4 to 6. Okay, so there's one of the months. So if you guys do the math, in December, our cash flow was $4,500, and that's the actual calendar. And actually, it was even more. If you guys see that number called paid out, then maybe there might have been some kind of refund or cancellation that we made more money that month, particularly on the paid out, right? That's the same house. That's the cash flow for April. Same house, cash flow for April. There you go. So this month we hit $8,262 on that house, okay? It's a regular house. We dressed it up nice. We used the 5 principles, right? Then I have a creative finance case study for you guys. I bought this one subject to. Our down payment was $51,919. Believe it or not, you can find these if you look for them, right? Our furnishing cost us $13,000. Our monthly revenue is $5,000 to $7,000. It's in Hockley in the middle of nowhere. Our utilities run about that, and our cash flow is about $2,000 to $3,000, $2,000 to $3,500 every single month on this particular property. Okay? And there is our March revenue, April, right? Longer bookings, you want that in Airbnb. You want longer bookings, less turnover, less cleaning, less wear and tear. Okay, and that is actually a screenshot. I was doing this until 11. I was like, oh, cool, let me just screenshot this. But this is February through April, right? One little Hockley house, 4-bedroom, in the middle of nowhere. Doesn't even have a large backyard. It's the size of the stage or less. Okay? Joint venture, BRRR. I've done a few joint ventures. Investors approached me, and I was like, okay, go, let's make it happen. I actually rehabbed this baby. It was flooded and completely gutted, and it makes $8,000 to $10,000, and our note is $10.90. You don't get as lucky as this all the time, but this was pretty good, right? And I raised the revenue on this property by making just a few tweaks. One small thing that you change in your business or your life could change everything for you, right? We did this. It changed the destiny of this property just a few months ago. It was making $5,000 to $6,000, and we're tweaking as we are going, right? As you're learning. All the properties we have, we can't tweak all of them. We just tweak the ones that we needed to make sure that we're going to perform better because we knew it, right? So this is one of them. So cash flow is $4,000 to $6,000, and we pay ourselves about $1,200 to $1,400 in management fees. So those are some of the numbers, and there is our calendar for April. So if you do the math, 9,800 with reservations at 800, 689, 2,054, 1976, 1756, 2495. Those sort of numbers. And you can't get those all the time because you have to design these properties to make that much money that are so small, right? This was 1,798 square feet in the middle of nowhere. 77073. Literally, there's nothing around it. Okay? That is May. I've already made $9,200 in May for this particular property, which is pretty good. Okay? And now the management. We just launched this. Mona actually staged this one, and it looks great. You know, it's a 3,500 square foot house with small living, but it has a game room, it has a pool, and we literally have about 12 or 13,000. You'll see here. So a friend calls me. He's in real estate, and he's like, George, I'm buying properties. I want to do Airbnb. He's like, cool. Because we have 17 people on our team, 13 virtual assistants, right? So they manage everything. So for me to be able to do management for anyone, we literally built it and designed it so our properties come in and we put them into the system, right? So compared to before, we were doing everything in our businesses, just like we all know we always do. This one is awesome, and it started about a week ago, April 20th, right? So 10 days ago. And it already has brought 12,260, and we're going to be sending my buddy Colby a very, very nice $8,000 with his mortgage is about $2,500. So he just made himself over $5,000 in the first month. And he invested $21,000. So you do the math, all right? So launch on the 20th. That's one reservation. That's another reservation. The first weekend, we lowered it a little bit. And then this is what we have so far, okay? I launch my properties now at $800 to $1,200 a night on the weekends, maybe $1,300, $1,400. And then we are getting it because we designed them that way, okay? April 2020 revenue for our company, this is the first time we just hit. Second month, we hit over 6 figures, so I'm extremely happy, and I'm extremely grateful that my team has done that, right? So to get there, it took me 2.5 years, but if I would have done things just a little bit different, and I would have had someone to help me, then it would have been a whole different story because I would have gone straight into the properties that made $10,000 a piece, and there were, $1,000, $1,500 for monthly mortgage, right? So, but we had to do it the hard way, and that's how everybody does it, unless you get a mentor or a coach. If you guys want to learn more, I think my time is up. What I'm going to do for you is I'm going to throw 5 complimentary strategy sessions for RE3 Mastermind, okay? So if you guys pull out your phones, what I'm going to do is go to this site real quick. It is my personal site, which you guys see over there, and I'm doing 5 complimentary strategy sessions for anybody that wants to learn more. So go ahead and take out your phones. Awesome. All right, so to recap, your market is key. 20% of your success in Airbnb, guys. Your property, your listing and amenities, your design and amenities, your listing and guest avatar, and your operations. And what I want to tell everybody here is that it is not an easy path in any way that I'm trying to tell you. It is the hard path with smarts. We've gotten so smart about our short-term rentals now that people call us and we say no, right? So I want to encourage everybody today, whatever you're doing in business, to keep going, keep working your asses off, but do it smartly, right? Do it smartly, save time, and let's go be successful, guys. Thank you so much.